welcome to part 2, and we only covered 4 freaking games in the last video because I can't shut up. Okay. Oh boy. Those of you who are Zelda fans will know this one. Ladies and gentlemen, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Freaking Time. This game is well known for being one of the best Zelda games ever created. The reason why is because this game offered a whole lot of new stuff into the Zelda series. I mean, we got to ride a horse. It was also the very first 3D Zelda game. And not only that, this game was also, it's what has a lot of what the current Zelda games, you know how some people call games that are similar to Mario 64 clones, where you have to go and collect a certain amount of something to get to the next level or to the next area. This game, I guess you could call the current Zeldas going on right now, aside from the new one being created right now. I can't make an assumption because I haven't seen a lot of trailers because I don't want the game ruined for me. But this game, I guess you could consider a lot of the newer Zelda games as Zelda Ocarina of Time clones. Because a lot of the Zelda games out these days have almost the same sort of thing as Zelda Ocarina of Time. But then again, I guess the past Zeldas have the same problem. You collect 3 objects, regardless of what they may be, and then you have to collect 8 other things. But this game, it has so many new things added to the game that you can easily overlook that sort of thing. A lot of people complain about the side quests. I can't understand why. When I got a little bit bored of the current storyline, you know, and I wanted to take a break from the temples, it was really nice to have little side quests to play around with, you know, just to pass the time until I felt ready to go on to the next temple. And the items you got for completing these side quests are more than worth it. I would suggest, if you're a hardcore Zelda fan and you have not played Ocarina of Time, I highly recommend it. Also, this game, for the GameCube game, I'm probably going to mention this when I cover my GameCube collection, but I'm going to say it here anyway. If you pre-ordered Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, then you would have gotten this game along with it on a GameCube disc, along with Legend of Zelda Master's Quest in the same disc as well. But I'll cover that more on when we get to that game in my GameCube collection, because I don't want to waste as much time as I did in the first part of this talking about that sort of stuff. But I would recommend Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for anyone. It's great story, great plot, great new characters. It's just you will put this into your N64 and you will not be able to put it down. At least that's what happened with me. That game is also notoriously hacked because we saw a picture when it was first in production. We saw a picture of the Triforce, and people have been notorious of trying to hack it to get the Triforce. There was also a user who went through this whole scheme, and you can find this out on the Legend of Zelda Odyssey page, which has a whole bunch of stuff relating to hacks for the game. This person, I don't remember the exact name of the person, but they went through this whole year or so long spiel of saying they found the Triforce, and it turned out to be a huge hoax. And this person also called the Ocarina of Time players as being not having any lives because they were getting so hyped about the Triforce possibly being found. There was a hack that was found by someone, and it wasn't a hoax, that found the Triforce. But this other person I'm talking about, it was a hoax, and they called us and they said that the people who played the game and were getting excited about have no lives. Personally, I want to say right now to the person, if they're watching right now, who honestly has no life? The people who play the game and were getting excited over the fact that the Triforce possibly would have been found, or you who went through a year or so long spiel to bring about this whole hoax. Personally, I would say that person has no life that brought up that whole hoax. You can read about it on Legend of the Hyrule Odyssey thing. Again, I'll probably post a link to it eventually in the description box. But anyway, this one is, I guess you could say, the sequel to Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. This game was well known for two things. One, its much darker storyline than what we are used to within the Zelda series. And two, actually having a time limit to how much time we have to get certain things done. And the entire time limit is a span of 3 days long before the moon crashes into the town of Termina, if I'm pronouncing that right. Now, there are a lot of side quests in this game, kid you not. Now, there isn't a lot to this game. There are like 4 temples, but given the fact that this game didn't have a lot of development time to begin with, I don't remember how much. I think it was 6 months. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But there were 4 temples, each one grounding further and further with more and more difficulty. The most difficult one was, of course, the 4th and last temple. And that was the most difficult because you had to do certain things, and the temple literally took you the 3 full days of the entire game to complete, which is why you would need the Song of Intermediate Time, if that's the correct name for it, in order to slow down time to actually get the temple done. At least that's what I found. But the storyline, when you get down to the very end of this game, the whole reason of why the story plot took place to begin with is actually rather sad. I won't ruin it for people who don't know much about who haven't played this and are thinking of playing this. I'm not going to say much of what that is. But if you're looking for something a little bit different within the Zelda series and you haven't played this yet, I would recommend playing it. If you want a darker feel to the Zelda games, and, you know, yeah. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering, yes, this is, the cartridge that's gold with the little holographic title, in case you guys haven't noticed. Just like my Donkey Kong game that the GameStop manager recommended, I got this game a week before it was supposed to be actually released in stores. I think it was a week. Because the manager was friends with my dad, I got the limited edition cartridge. There's also, in case I didn't mention this, there's also a limited edition gold cartridge for the Ocarina of Time. Again, that's just as much hacked as the original to find out possible differences that were changed. But anyway. This I really don't have much to say about. I saw this in Nintendo Power and just got curious. Yoshi's Story. Basically, it stars a bunch of Yoshis that their island got turned into a storybook by Baby Bowser because they stole the Super Happy Fruit Tree and you have to go and save them. Now, if you're looking for a short play game, I recommend this. Because the game, you could probably beat it in a day, but it's good for a nice, if you're bored, sort of play thing. I know it looks like a kiddie game, but it's good for playing a few times through to play through all the levels.